Alaska State Troopers report that the person of interest in the death of victims Rachel Blackshear and her daughter Jayla, who were found dead of gunshot wounds at a residence on Resurrection Drive on Friday after patrol officers responded to a request for a welfare check, has been apprehended in a New York neighborhood by Homeland Security and the NYPD. 39-year-old Jalonni Blackshear, a former correction officer at the Anchorage Correctional Center, fled the state soon after the slaying on Resurrection Drive and traveled to the Staten Island neighborhood. It was on March 30th of this year that Blackshear's daughter, age 14, went to APD and reported that she had been raped by her father. Immediately after, the daughter was taken to a local hospital by her mother and forensic testing was conducted. APD requested a search warrant for DNA samples from Blackshear, which the Alaska State Court granted on April 5th, and the following day, Blackshear left his job at ACC, where he had been employed since 2018. DNA samples taken returned a match to Blackshear on April 13th. 2 days later, on April 15th, Blackshear's 35-year-old wife and their 14-year-old daughter were found dead of shotgun wounds in their home.
Now at 5:30, a suspected double murderer from Alaska is found hiding on Staten Island. A raid by Homeland Security agents and NYPD detectives ended this cross-country search. And now this double murder mystery has a disturbing twist. Chief Investigative Reporter Jonathan Dienst has more now. John.
Adam, the suspected Alaska killer hiding here in New York is also an accused child rapist. HSI agents and police were seen earlier today making the arrest in the Emerson Hills section of Staten Island. 39-year-old Jalonni Blackshear taken into custody after an Alaska to New York manhunt. Investigators searching the Harold Street home where he was believed to be hiding out. They say Blackshear, a correction officer, used a shotgun to shoot and kill his 14-year-old daughter and her mom back on April 15th. This after the teen accused him on March 30th of raping her. Prosecutors say hospital DNA tests on the girl were positive for a sex assault. Knowing he was under investigation, but before those DNA results came in, Anchorage police say Blackshear went on a rampage. They say he quit his corrections officer job and then went home and shot his daughter and her mom. They say Blackshear next fled Anchorage and flew here to New York. He was considered armed and dangerous.
The worst nightmare you can imagine.
Just a heartbreaking story tonight. An Elk Grove family is mourning the murder of their daughter and granddaughter.
My daughter was a victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
It was carefully hidden. It appears that the violence would happen infrequently enough that my daughter felt that she could endure.
35-year-old Rachel Blackshear and her daughter Jayla were found dead in Anchorage, Alaska. Police arrested 39-year-old Jalonni Blackshear, the husband, in Staten Island, New York, for his connection to the double homicide.
It forced us into a painful new reality that you wouldn't wish this on anyone. I don't care how much you didn't like someone. This is a pain that no one ever wants to feel.
Now, according to Anchorage police, officers did a welfare check on Blackshear's home, and that is when they found the mom and daughter dead. Now her family back in Elk Grove wants the public to hear one important message.
I do want to get the word out about domestic violence, that if you suspect something, to say something, and I know that it might mean jeopardizing
a friendship
or access, but I feel like it's worth that to keep them alive. You just don't know how it's going to end.
Okay, so take a look. There is help out there. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is taking calls. The number is on your screen, 1-800-799-7233. Now, you can also chat with someone online
extremely
at
heartbreaking and tragic.
TheHRONemediaa.org.
It's so crazy to see something like this happen to a family. Prayers and condolences to all involved. May God bless you.